Hey guys, welcome back to Amanda's Favorites, where I have new videos every Tuesday. I also share an extra monthly video or Zoom call with my patrons. If you'd like to find out about supporting me over there, that link is down in the description. Today's video is going to be a look at Laurel Denise's new planners. I have reviewed her calendar year planners for you before. They are sold out right now. I will put that review down in the description if you're interested in seeing those, kind of for getting ready for her launch in the fall for her next calendar year. But she has come out with an undated weekly planner with a vertical view instead of a horizontal, which is her dated calendar year one. It's a horizontal one. She's also come out with a teacher planner. You guys go crazy for her planner every year. The last 2 years, which I believe is right when she started, I did her first review, and both years completely sold her out. Before I forget, I want to mention that I do have a 10% off code. It is Amandasfavorites, so you can put that in your cart and get 10% off. These planners are $50, and so that makes them only $45. They have 80-pound paper, you guys, tabbed pages that are 120-pound, really amazing quality. Laurel Denise is a jewelry designer first and foremost, and that comes through in her planners with her attention to detail and beauty, and also her thinking outside the box in her planner. This is probably the most unique planners that I've ever reviewed, the planners from Laurel Denise. Her layouts are just, there is nothing out there like them. So stick with me if you haven't seen them. This little card comes with your planner. It's so cute. May you be proud of the work you do, the person you are, and the difference you make. We're also going to talk about at the very end, she sent me one of her mini sticky note sets and some gratitude cards that are beautiful. We will talk about that at the end. I want to go ahead and jump into the weekly undated planner first, and then we'll do the teacher planner second. I want to make sure to mention that your planner comes in one of these boxes, which makes a really nice gift if you're sending it to someone for a gift. It comes wrapped in tissue with her little sticker, "You are loved," which is so cute. I think that's her handwriting because I've seen her handwriting because she's written me little cards, and that looks like it. She has very neat handwriting. And it comes in this little box, not wasting any packaging because this is like the exact size of the planner. And then I love this, plan thoughtfully on the side of the box. So that is what your planner comes in. This is your weekly undated planner. Like I said, her dated weekly planner is sold out for the calendar year and will relaunch in the fall. This planner comes with this huge, massive pocket up front here. You could stick a lot in here, bigger pages if you need to. It's like coated in something, and her beautiful artwork there. It comes with a ruler, every single one of her planners, which I think is awesome for the price. It has the gold foiling on there and has her like little mantra, "You are loved," which I love. It is very thin and very flexible, which I like because then it's not leaving like a ridge in the page when you're writing, and it snaps in and out really easily. As you saw me just snap it out. And we have the brass colored rings on her planner. Oh yeah, and this little gold foil heart at the bottom there too. Now you'll notice how wide this planner is when it's open. I have all the dimensions written down inside, and all the dimensions are on her website, but when it's open, it is 23 inches. So you do need to be aware of that when looking at the layout. If you need to have it open a lot, you need to have that amount of room. You have a nameplate page. And then you go in to look at your entire year at a glance, and she has it mapped out by goals for each month and things to remember. So the goals section is unlined and the things to remember section is lined. But then you also have some dot grid room here for like the first half of the year and the second half of the year if you just need to make notes. Of course, the things to remember could be people's birthdays and anniversaries, or they could be the odd bills that are due that month. Like I like to write down the ones that come only once a quarter or twice a year, just so I know when they're being deducted from my account, especially like if it's a big one, like car insurance or something. It's nice to keep track of that. And then you go into your first month. Her tabbed pages are 120 pounds, you guys. That is cardstock. It feels the same as the paper, so it takes pen really well. Writing on the tabs also is very easy since this is an undated planner. You can see all your months lined up right there. So you open to your tab page. That is your monthly layout. I actually want to show this to you on a blank page first for those new to her planner so you can kind of understand the layout. This is similar to her calendar year dated layout, if you're familiar with that, except for that is in a vertical format for your week here. This is a horizontal format in which you can write times in here. So this could be all your timed appointments, or you could use it for to-do lists. So it's completely open for however you need to use it. All of her planners start on a Monday start for your monthly layout. And then you have Saturday and Sunday sharing a box. So you have to be okay with that small of amount of room for Saturday and Sunday. This is the big unique part of her planner, is that you see your monthly layout, you see your entire weekly layout with your monthly at the same time, and you could see your weekly notes and to-do list for the month right there too, all right here in one scope. If you need to have it folded over, then you are only going to be able to see Monday through Thursday of your week with your month. To see the rest of your week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you will have to flip it over. So that is something to think about if you don't have enough room to have it open all the time. Think about, if that's okay with you. If you want to see your whole week at once, though, you will have to flip it open, or at least maybe while you're planning. So this is what people love about her planner, is being able to see all your views all at once. Your vertical sections are lined with a very light gray line and time slots here that you can write in. Here's little promptings, but of course you don't have to use the boxes for this. To do today, so that could be a to-do list if you're using this for all your timed events. And priorities for the day are boxed off up top, and then a this week list. The to-do today could also be your dinners. I thought that would fit there great, or your workouts, or maybe your teenager's work schedule in there. So anything you need to see at a glance across the whole week. Of course, this could also work for any of those things too, or it could be your priorities of the day, or it could be the weather, whatever you need it to be, but it's an easy glance of your whole entire week. Now I'm going to show you the one that I wrote in so you can kind of see how it's filled out and how I might use it. I love assigning a color to a month. And so if I was using this and filling in an undated planner, I would assign a color to the month and use that to fill in my dates. I went ahead and filled it out for May so you could see what it would look like for May. There are 5 weeks here. May just happens to start on a Sunday. So it's one of those odd months where you almost waste an entire week. So you do have to have 2 days doubled up down here. I wasn't sure how my events would feel writing it in on her boxes because I'm a pretty big, messy writer and I like a lot of room, but I actually found that there was enough room for my events on here because I am used to writing it in my smaller Ashley Shelley monthly layout, and that's not actually much bigger than this. It might actually be the same size. The only difference here is that you are sharing a Saturday and a Sunday. Then I wrote in times from 6 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. with half-hour slots. So depending on when you start, that's how much you can fit in here. And here's kind of how I would use it. I would use it as to writing out my to-dos. My errands or big scheduled things for the day would be up here in my top box. And then my to-dos would be here. I wanted to show you how it looked like. So when you're in your next week of the month, you just flip. Is this not genius, you guys? I've never seen a planner like hers. On the next week of the month, I just wrote appointments in time slots here, or errands that I would be doing. So you can see how it would look like if you mainly left your week blank, except for those appointments or errands. And that way they stood out to you. You can even highlight those. This is a Pilot G2 pen that I wrote with. And just to let you know, it almost always smears with highlighters. So if you see that, it is not her paper at all. It does that on all paper, the Pilot G2s. Let's go over the specs of this planner. So it is $50 with my 10% off code. That makes it $45. Do not forget to punch in my code at checkout, Amandasfavorites. It comes with the bookmark, like I said. These tabbed pages are the 120 pound, so thick, which is really nice because the tabbed pages are where your month is. And that's also where you would write all your notes on the back. So if you have filled it in with all your notes, you're not going to have show through on your monthly layout, which I think would make it really busy. So I think it was such a smart move of her to make these tabbed pages really thick based on the layout of this planner. Your other normal pages in here, other than the tabbed pages, are 80 pound. And I will show you the pen test. I did that in the teacher planner actually. And like I said, it's open flat, 23 inches wide. All the dimensions are on her website, but the cover closed is 11.25 by 8.75. Then when you go through here, if you look, it's really easy to flip to all your months. Then your weeklies are in between. When you look at the back of your weeklies, you have a dot grid and you have more dot grid for just notes for the week, for whatever you want. And on mine, I wrote like meal ideas here. I started writing like my to-dos for the week here. So you actually have a lot of room to divide up like weekly to-do lists by categories or to make your meal plan. So there's a lot of room right there with your weeks to plan for the month. You could even do a monthly meal plan because here you are, you're looking at your whole month. I know someone who just uses this, the dated version, for a meal planner because it's a horizontal layout here for your week and it works perfectly for meal planning and also writing all your grocery lists. So there's another use for you. When you go through all your months in this planner, so that's how it goes until you get to the very back, then you have 29 pages, that's counting front and back, if I counted them right, of the graph and dot grid. So first you have graph and it looks like it's about half and half. Graph pages to do any kind of notes, designing, mind mapping, goal mapping out, list making. And then the other half is a very light gray dot grid notes pages. And there are 29 of these, like I said, front and back, but that's actually a lot of room because these are big pages in here. Like I said, these pages are like 8.75 by like 10.5. They are big, much bigger than a 7x9 planner. So it's a lot more note room on each one of the pages. At the back, you get another pocket on here. That is the end. That is your planner. Now let's look at how thick this is. I think it says it weighs just over a pound. I will put that in here. One thing you do have to note though is because all those weekly pages are cut off, your planner is thicker up here and goes to thinner down here. So just so you know, as you are writing in your planner, like you are in mid planner here, yes, you can feel a bump up to where your pages dip down, depending on which side you're on. Like more is on this side, so you're gonna feel a little bump here writing down. So it just depends on how much is in front of you or how much is behind you, where you're gonna feel that dip. You are gonna feel a dip though, because you do have all those half sheets here. And so there is a definite dip. I wouldn't say it's like a ridge. I would say it's a dip and it happens right here. It's like on your timeline spot. So honestly, it's not at the worst spot at all. On this side, if you're writing and you have the dip, which we don't because we're almost near the end here, but it would just be where these pages end and like, so it would be like in the middle of your notes page. It's a little ridge right here. I have heard so many people who bought this planner and love it, including my friend Tara. And I have actually heard no complaints about that. Like people buying it know that's what they're getting. The layout is just what they need. And it's so unique that they are willing to work around that because the only way to get this layout is to have that little ridge when you're writing. Right, we are going to move into the teacher planner, but one thing I did not point out was your to-do list for the month is labeled to do this month, and you do have a line there. So for that little edge, then you do have this list room that you can see when your whole week is open, and then you have a separate list room that you can see only when your whole week is flipped. So when you're making lists, you might take that into consideration. You know, you might draw a line where this is so that you know, like, these are not the lists that you need to see constantly. And you know to flip there for those lists. And if you make the same list there kind of every month, then you get used to that. And this is the list that you can see with your week open. And that is your monthly list. All right, guys. So that is your undated weekly planner with the vertical layout and the room to write in your time slots if you want it to become a timed planner. Now, these planners only come with one cover each. So the weekly planner is that pale pink color. The teacher planner is this matte black color with the brass rings. It looks really beautiful. You have the gold foiling on the cover once again. The back does not have anything on it. I'm not sure if I showed you that in the pink one, but the gold foiling once again on the front and the back, just a matte, beautiful blush pink. Let's get into this teacher planner. It is unique also. You have a really pretty floral and kind of leaves here with your pocket up front. You have the same ruler, the same nameplate page, and then you get into the teacher info. These first couple pages, you have emergency info, so fire procedures, natural disaster procedures, lockdown procedures, helpful hands, medical info, transportation, and she put this as substitute info. I was a teacher many, many moons ago before I had my boys, and I would have never left my planner with a substitute, but I say that all the time with the ERIN CONDREN planner reviews. and all the other teacher planners that I have reviewed. I do have a whole teacher planner, homeschool planner playlist. I always say that, but I think this is useful information anyway. You might make a copy of it and put it in your substitute folder, or most likely nowadays you have that all typed in online and given to the substitute either electronically or printed out. I don't even know how it's done nowadays because everything has changed from when I taught 20 plus years ago. If you need this room to write this information down for yourself or to make notes, then it's here. Then you have professional development here where you can keep track of your professional development hours, resource, username, and password for logins on websites. Then you have a look at January 2022 all the way through December 2023. This starts in July of 2022, starting out that school year, but she is still giving you the whole year of 2022 at a glance with lines below each month of things to remember so you can highlight dates and see your entire school year, which is starting in July, and going all the way till whenever you guys get out in May or June. And so you can see your whole school year plus more and plus before it for planning. So I think that is nice. You have all your holidays for 2022 and 2023 mapped out here. You have special dates and events you can add in, which is nice because sometimes schools celebrate different things. Then you have a look at your whole school year overview, July through June of 2022 to 2023, and room for notes there. I really think that's a great page to have. Then you have a tabbed, and this is a dated planner. The teacher planner is dated, just like her yearly planners. So you open it up, and you have the big number 7 for the month. You have the month typed in as well as your year. You have a view of your next month up here in the corner. So you're looking at July, the whole month right here, and then you get a view of August up here in the corner. Your week is dated out up here, and I actually want to look at a blank week once again before I show you the filled in. So here is what it looks like blank. You have the same monthly layout, except you're going to have holidays now put in there, and you're going to have all your dates put in there. You have a little bit lighter gray going into the next month, but you have a lead in on dates there. For the week, you have a Monday through Friday only because this is a teacher planner. If you're not using it as a teacher planner and you're going to use it for something else, like a work planner, a social media planner, which I could totally see also, then it's just a Monday through Friday work week. You do have a this week section. If you really needed to add in a Saturday, you could just draw your lines over and that could be Saturday, or you could split this for Saturday and Sunday if you were really wanting to use it for a full weekly planner and not just Monday through Friday, not just as a teacher planner. You have room for 5 subjects every day going down vertically. So your week is a look vertically, but with 5 boxes. So it could be 5 subjects. It could be 5 social media channels. It could be 5 things to get done that day, or 5 kids' schedules to keep track of. I'm just thinking of all the different ways that you could use this besides being a teacher planner. I definitely think it could be a teacher planner, but I think it could have a lot of other uses too. You have a little prompting up here for priorities for the week and room to write that. And then this would be your this week, just things to remember for this week, or a weekly to-do list. And then once again, you easily flip through all your weeks while you're planning for the month, and you see your monthly view at the same time to get that whole scope. All right, so after all your weeks for the month, then it's the same layout here with the dot grid and then a to-do this month. And then you go into your next month. And of course, all the tabs are labeled in this dated version. Let's look at my pen test in here. I did my pen test on here because this is the 80-pound paper. So here are all my pen tests. We have mild liner highlighters, really dark, Pilot Precise, ERIN CONDREN dual tip markers. And if you look at the back of it, really, you cannot see anything even ghosting through. I really can't, in my lighting here, see anything ghosting through. I'm so impressed with her paper. Now, the feel of the paper, because I know you guys want to know, there is no tooth to it. There is no tooth, but it is not like a super smooth paper like plum paper. It's not that. I would say it's just a very normal, smooth paper that takes pen well. And it feels nice and thick at 80 pounds. This week box here is 1.37 by 8.5 inches. Your little monthly boxes are 1 inch by 1.43. And these weekly boxes are 1.31 by 1.37. Don't worry, all those measurements are on her website, which I absolutely love. She has measured every box and every spec in this planner and puts it on the website for you. I wish all companies would do that. That's just one of the examples of her attention to detail. This to-do box for the month is 3.25 by 8 inches. And that is the flow of this planner. You have all your labeled tabs. And when you get to the back, there are some extras in this because this is the teacher planner. So it's not just a whole bunch of notes pages like your weekly planner. Let's start here. There are student info pages when you end in June of 2023. Then you go straight into student info pages. There is 6 of these. So 6 layouts like this where you have student, parent or guardian's phone number, email, username, password. So if you had 6 classes of students, you have enough room to fill all those in if you wanted to keep those in here. Or if you wanted to like type them out and paste them in here, that's an option too if you just wanted it in your planner. So you have 6 pages of student info. If you weren't using it for that, you could of course use it for anything else for your class. You could list the students and have whatever you're keeping track of in these different columns for the class, like if they turned in field trip forms or reading logs or whatever you're keeping track of. This could definitely keep track of 6 classes, or it could just use extra notes pages if you don't plan to use it that way. You have 6 2-page layouts of these student checklists, which makes 12 classes worth because there is 2 on each page. So you can have 2 classes on each page and checklists for different things like who's read what book or completed what units or the field trip forms and the book logs, whatever you need to check off for your class. You have 12 of those student checklist pages. Then you have 13 dot grid notes pages at the end. So these are all dot grid and you just have 13 because you do have those extra other pages. And then you have another pocket at the back to be able to stuff stuff in. That is your teacher planner from Laurel Denise. Both of these planners weigh 1 pound. She has them listed on her website. And that is how they kind of look in thickness from the side. So that is your Laurel Denise planner review for mid-year. I would love to hear all your thoughts down in the comments about these very unique planners. I would really love to hear your thoughts too if you've tried one of her planners before. So please share down in the comments. To wrap up this video, I'm going to share her mini sticky note set here. It is $13. Look at those beautiful gradients. These are 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. And I wanted to show you because this is your standard Post-it size, and I tried to stick it on there just right. I'm a tiny bit crooked, but this is your standard Post-it size, and this one is just a tiny bit smaller at 1 3/8 by 2 7/8. When you pull it off, you can feel it has really good stick and grip. I did stick it on my planner for a while though, and I do feel like over time, they're not as sticky as Post-it notes, which I have said about pretty much every company with sticky notes that are not Post-it notes. But they are really pretty colors. And if you're someone who uses the double-sided dot tape to stick things down, as you just like them to kind of mark things and stand out in your planner, then you could definitely use these. But to let you know, they are bigger than those squares. So they don't go in those squares. You would use them around your planner or in other places. So that is the mini sticky note set for $13. She also has many different card sets, which are beautiful, like a sympathy one, a friendship one, a religious one. This one is her gratitude card set, and it comes with 6 different cards, 6 different ways to say thank you. And it's for $25. Your cards, and that sticky note I had sticking on there, and it was still really sticky when I just pulled it off. So to let you know, although I have not tested them extensively for long amounts of time, I always try to be so completely honest with the things I review because I never want to mislead you. At the back, you have a little Laurel Denise stamp in gold, so pretty, and this beautiful abstract artwork, and each card says something different. This one says filled with gratitude, and it has gold foiling on the front, and it is just blank inside. It's not slick. It's a nice card base to write on, and all of them have blush envelopes. But we have a filled with gratitude, and I am ever so grateful for you, so thankful. And each card has some gold foiling in some way. Just a thank you. You made my day, and you're the best. I love that each one has a different message, because I find when I buy a whole card box of like thank yous that are all the same, then I often have some of the same people doing things for me. And I don't want to, I'm like, oh, did I send them that card the last time? Because I don't want to send them the exact same card. Well, these are each different. Although the artwork is similar in look, each piece of art is different, and each thing that the card says is different. If you are placing an order, you might want to check out around her website. She has other cards and planner paper items along with her jewelry. And if you are making a purchase, don't forget to use my code Amandasfavorites for 10% off in your cart for checkout. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time and appreciate you being here. Leave me all your thoughts down in the comments. Take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.